Bencle Hibbert, welcome to Profile.
Thank you, Archibald.
So you are the CEO of the Wheels and Wheels group of companies.
Yes.
Started out just as a single business, but now expanded into companies that are not just in the corporate area, but across the country. When you look back at the kind of journey you've had and the kind of success that you have made of your life, how do you feel?
I feel good. I feel very, very good of myself. As a little country boy, leave Porus back in the days, and to where I am now in the car industry, I just have to give God the glory.
Let's talk a little bit about that journey in Porus. So it was Porus, your mother, your father, and 11 of you. What was it like growing up?
Why, Archibald, it was so tough. But the Almighty God saw us through. If you ask me, coming up through Porus, going to school barefooted, going to Porus primary, basic school first, and then Porus primary, Porus secondary. And it was tough. It was tough.
What was so challenging about those circumstances?
It was so challenging when I was going to basic school. I have to walk at least 2.5 miles to school and back at a tender age of 4 years old. And it's not easy to walk 2.5 miles. And continue through the journey, if you ask me. I would do it all over again because it has made me the man I am today. But Porus was really, really tough with my upbringing. And parents never have it like that neither.
They were challenged just to feed all of you? How they're dealing with all?
The difference with us is that all 11 of us was not home all at once. My bigger brother and sister, them left early. Our brother is over 20 odd years older than I do. So they left. When I came, it's just maybe about 4 of us or 5 of us as mother and father kids was at home. The rest of them leave and gone. In other words, fly out a nest and gone to Kingston for a better life. And of course, in those days, if you're not going to Kingston, the only other alternative is overseas for a better life.
What was your mother like?
My mother was a hard, dedicated worker. The only difference with us back in the country is that all the kids my mother have, everywhere she goes, she'd have to keep explaining herself. She used to name me Settling. Are you repeating the Miss Settling? Because people can't believe it was Miss Settling's kids.
Why?
Because she was Indian.
Okay.
And we have no Indian in us. So everywhere she go, they would ask, is your one this? And she have to keep repeating herself. You understand what I'm saying to you? So, but it was really a challenge for us as kids. And because the challenge has made us to who we are today, we have to just give God the thanks and the praise.
What was your father like?
My father was a very strict father. He's a no-nonsense father. And I saw my kids, them now have the privilege of knowing him, who he was, and the upbringing I got. Because sometimes my kids, them even say me tough. But that come from my father. He's a no-nonsense person.
What do you mean when you say no-nonsense?
No-nonsense, in other words, the playing around is not his style. The productivity is always on his right hand. In other words, come in and see us playing cricket. I used to play cricket. Come in and see us playing marble is a problem for him.
He did not want you to be playing?
Your book is the number one. But sometimes we have to use the mother as a shield. Believe me. The book only. So you know what kind of father you're talking about. Sometimes we have to play little marble and tar or whatever. We have to hide. If we see him come, we have to, like we wasn't a part of the game. We just stand up and look.
No, you talk about him reinforcing this idea of education, of books, of reading, of paying attention to all of that, which is why you say one of the turning points in your life was Common Entrance.
Yes.
And the fact that you did not perform the way he wanted you to perform in Common Entrance. What happened?
Well, when I took the Common Entrance in 1976, I can't forget my father was playing some domino at a shop. When you reach age, domino has become your best friend. And when I look back of how I failed in 1976 by not passing the Common Entrance in those days, my father think the whole world. And really and truly, looking back at it now, Archibald, I'm glad they changed the common entrance.
The common entrance, for the folks who might not know, because they're accustomed to doing PEP and GSAT, it's PEP right now, primary exit profile, and GSAT was the primary school exit exam at the point.
Yes.
You did math, English, and mental ability, and if you didn't pass, you didn't go to the traditional high school. Yes.
Yes, and because I didn't pass, once you don't pass in those days, we would say, dog, name your supper. Because the parents have the input in the kids again because you don't pass the common entrance.
And he wanted you to go to Manchester High School.
Manchester High
School. His dream.
Manchester High School. His school for me to go was Manchester High School. And all right. With the school I was going to was a little school called Ramble. And that all-age school, I come first. From grade 2 or grade 3, I'm coming first in the class. And when I didn't pass in 1976, kids were come all 8 or 9 behind me. Gone to Manchester, the Cartridge College, you name it. I feel so embarrassed.
Yes.
I know how my parents feel. Because they were, that is the one, this is the boy, this is the boy.
When you didn't pass common entrance, you had a second option.
Yes.
This was to I think it's a grade 9
grade 9 achievement test back in those days. That was 1979. And when I didn't pass the common entrance, oh God, that's the worst thing ever happened in my life. I have to leave home. At 14 years old, I have to leave my parents' home and go and live with my uncle.
Why did you have to leave home?
Because I didn't pass. Because that was a second chance.
No, I mean, he said you needed to leave the house?
No, it was him who told me to leave. Based upon his action and his knives and something, my mother had to seek refuge at my uncle. I have to go and live with my uncle for about 4 or 5 months till everything breathes down. And what make it so bad? I couldn't go back to that school because you take that exam in grade 9. So I moved now to a secondary school because, you don't pass. And everybody was saying that them can't understand because the grade 9 achievement test was much, much easier than the common entrance.
Now, when you don't pass the common entrance or the grade 9 achievement test, the next thing now, and I remember my own father with my brothers, was that you have to go and learn a trade.
Well, tell you the truth, Archibald, when I didn't pass and go to the Porus secondary school, I have only gone to school 3.5 days per week because my parents, especially my father, there was no lunch money. At the Porus secondary school, I have some orange peel around. That was my lunch on a daily basis in the first initial stage. And afterwards, I said, I can't live like this. And I started to go to school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday half day. And anywhere the jelly is, I would climb that tree and pick those jellies, fix them up good. And there was a bus that passed Porus 7:30 in the morning called Baston bus. And I head to Mandeville to sell those jellies and have myself with lunch money to go back to school for the next 3 days. And that I've been doing that for about 2.5, almost 2 years.
The next part of your journey now, and we're going to be talking about that after the break, we have to take a break right now, is how you move right to learning the trade by leaving home Porus and heading off into Old Harbour St. Catherine. But we're going to take the break right now. You are watching Profile. My guest is the CEO of the Wheels and Wheels group of companies, Bencle Hibbert, and we are back on the other side of these messages.